Peace.
Salam. So we're back live again after the last week and the last couple of days ago when I was with my wife, and we completely destroyed some of their most prolific liars. Yeah,
Mm.
some of their most prolific liars. These guys are such I mean, the most interesting, or should I say, fantastic thing about these people is that they sit there with such smugness as if they're actually telling some truth or some depth. Yeah, they have some depth in their soul, and their hearts are guided somehow. Yeah, it's it's disgusting. It's despicable. It's it's a travesty to God. Absolutely, that they sit there and they pontificate absolute lies, and they are they are received with such fervor, with by the followers who are, I mean, bigger retards than themselves. Yeah, and I like to see the story that day, which is clearly depicted in the Quran by the Holy Spirit Gabriel, that the retarded satanic leaders will free themselves from the more retarded
Mm.
satanic followers, and the more retarded satanic followers will say that if we had a chance, we'd free from them, like what they free from us. And there will be wars over them that day, and they will not be coming out from the fire. And this, of course, is not the exact um, sign translated exactly, but this is the exact sentiment of that sign. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was just mind-numbing to watch the last episode, and the lies. Like this one guy, he was saying that forget about the Quran, the Sunnah. I just don't know what to say.
I mean, you just want to take him and line him up. Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
Line them up and show them the fire. That's
Yeah,
what's going to happen to them and the rest of those who follow them.
yeah, and even for those who are, if you talk about simplicity and just put them and put you on the side, it's so evident that this guy is speaking the truth from the book, and these guys are just speaking out of their rear ends. Because
Behind.
yeah,
Hmm.
like you asked me to do a task and I couldn't do it righteously, so I have an alternative for that I discussed with you about
Hmm.
debunking lies about the hereafter. And as I was searching, what was shocking, not so, but wanting to curse, was that whenever they talk about Quran, they don't talk about the Quran. They talk about the Hadith and the Sunnah.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to understand, the Satan cannot listen to the Quran. The listening or the hearing of the Quran to the Satans is disallowed. So they will say the word Quran and then they will bring nonsense from everywhere other than the Quran, or they will take the words that they think they know of the Quran and they will mutilate and twist them into making you believe that it's from the Quran. And they will say this is from God and this is from the book of God. And none of that is true. And you see all the Christians and Jews and the so-called Muslims doing that on the earth rampantly, and there's nothing new in this. I mean, last time I said this statement that it wasn't that when Jesus came all the rabbis were preaching the Torah, yeah, and it wasn't when Muhammad came that all the Christians and the rabbis and the Jews were preaching the Injil and the Torah. So when I come, do you think all these people are preaching the Torah and the Injil and the Quran? I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? It never happens. I mean, and that applies to every messenger, every prophet that has ever come to these morons. who call themselves men, yeah. And they can't be told that they're wrong because they're the best and the apple of God's eye in their own minds and souls, yeah. And God doesn't give 2 cents to you people if you reject. He's going to put you all in hell. And that's what you guys are doing. You're rejecting God. You're making stories over God and his messengers. You're uttering lies and attributing them to God and his messengers and his prophets and his books. And then you continue doing that when actually the messenger comes and tells you the book you hold ain't saying that, but you can't disprove him from the book that you hold, the Quran. So you'll bring your nonsense from outside the Quran to disprove what I'm saying, or to write over what I'm saying, or to say over what I'm saying. The nonsense. It's like, you falsify me, but I also falsify you. The only difference, the only difference is that you falsify me with your thoughts and lies, and I falsify you with the truth. That's the only difference. The act of falsification is the same. Words mean nothing without context. These people think, it's just what? How do they say it? Semantics. Why are you getting into semantics? Yeah, there's one person I knew, retard, absolute. Don't get into semantics. What you mean? Words have no meanings? Yeah, words have meanings. First, learn the meanings of those words. Yeah, and then learn what context that word is being used in to understand the actual meaning of that word in that context. But fundamentally, you have to understand the emotion and the actual meaning of a certain word. And there are similar words then that mean similar things, and in context, they mean completely different. And the same word in a different context means completely different things. And there are so many words, so many of them, that if you look up in any dictionary of any language, that has so many different meanings to it, that you're like, how do I know which one is supposed to be taken in which sentence? Yes, exactly. If you knew the emotion, moron, then you would know the meaning of the word in that sentence. When you take sentences and words out of context, out of the stream of thought and words that are being spewed out, then you will understand bloody nothing, which is what these people are. That's how they take sound bites out of context for people saying certain things, and they make them look like they're saying something which they're absolutely not. And you've
Mhm.
seen it all over the place. So this is the reality of what we're dealing with. Yeah, the twisting of words is very easy. The twisting of a message is very easy. To stick to what the message is actually saying, yeah, even when you don't understand it, is very difficult. You have to understand everything, otherwise you don't accept anything. This is the way of man. Yeah, if the smallest thing you cannot explain for whatever reason, then you are telling lies. While they will lie and contradict each other day after day, left and right, up and down, backwards and forwards, and they need to be listened to for some reason and objectively proven that they're lying. Look at your leaders, for example, today. If you look at any leader and show me how he is consistent, then I will be open to listening to that leader. The only leader that I see this half consistent is Putin, the Russian president. He is the most consistent in his words and his actions. Not that he does everything he says and does everything right, but what he says, he actually means, because I've been listening for 15 years to these guys, yeah, 20 years, more than that, some of them. And he's the only one who, when he says something, later on, he actually does it. Huh? Like he warned them about what he's going to do, and they say it's totally unprovoked and unwarranted. That may be right, I don't know. Yeah, although I don't think so. But like the fact of the matter is that he clearly warned them, don't do this. These are our red lines. You cross these and you're not going to be able to then push anything back. And then when war came upon them, yeah. Oh, it's them. They started this. It's totally unprovoked. Yeah. Everything is unprovoked for them. It's total bloody nonsense. They have been provoking Russia. since 1992. Once Russia, the Soviet Union fell apart, they've been provoking them. Yeah, they've been belittling them, they've been humiliating them openly. I've read it. I'm not listening to any one or the other. I've been reading it. They used to make fun of, look, they had so many submarines, they're all just over there rotting away. We go and buy MiGs from them for $3 million or $2 million. We take joyrides on their space craft to go to the, that was nonsense as well, but get in their modules and take joyrides for $5 million to the ISS. Nonsense. There's no ISS, as they tell you. Yeah, they don't. There's no spaceship up there. Yeah, there are ships in space. There are no spaceships, as they tell you. I mean, the vacuum of space exists right at the edge of the space we have the ability to go to above us. That's where the vacuum of space exists. Yeah, and then when you hit against the wall, the barrier, you won't be able to go past that. Yeah, I mean, of course, in a vacuum, when they show you that they can use thrusters, like how do you how do you move in a vacuum? In a vacuum, oh, we just fire these oxygen thrusters, or the fire, I don't know what kind of thruster. They just move our ship in one. Really, the vacuum, you can't push anything against the vacuum. It's by proven by experimentation down here. So how are you doing it up there? Yeah, I mean, like, complete nonsense. These
Like on
people.
the moon video, the flag was flapping.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they make all sorts of excuses why that was happening. Yeah. Oh, the guy walked by, so it was flapping. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
wind on the moon, apparently. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it was just moving by. And then later on, like last year, they said that the atmosphere of the Earth encompasses the moon. I'm not kidding. This came out. Huh? Anyway, so let's go back to our what we're talking here about, and go to
Okay.
your video, and you line it up and play it, and then we'll talk about what he says. You can lead
Okay.
it in. Yeah.
Okay. So this first gentleman, he's been saying that uh, somebody asked this question. This is Abdul Rahim Green
Mhm.
from IslamNet, I think. So he's
Mhm.
saying, someone's asking him, will non-Muslims who haven't heard of
Okay, let's
Islam?
tee it up. Yeah, let's tee it up.
Okay, so let's listen to this one and then see what it says. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Right.
Is about, does only Muslims get to go to paradise? Because it's people that are
it's
found in the
it's going.
Amazons that have
It's Stop it.
never had like any
Imran,
set of
stop it.
rules. They don't
Mm,
You're echoing back from your mic. It's echoing.
okay. Sorry about that.
to go to paradise because it's
Is
people
it better?
that are
Yeah.
found in the Amazons that have never had like any set of rules. They don't know anything. So how did they get
Why
treated?
was that
And
darkened out? Can you go back a
yeah,
little?
that's it.
I missed that. I didn't really. I think what she's saying
Go
is you've
back a
answered
little.
that question. Is it only Muslim? If a non-Muslim doesn't know about Islam, or they don't get sufficient
Go back a
information
little.
about it,
Go back a little.
Yeah, go back. Where she's speaking. The
Okay.
woman. No, that's too far back. Where the woman is speaking.
Yeah. Here.
It's about does is about does only Muslims get to go to paradise because it's people that are found in the Amazons that have never
Yes,
had
stop
like
this.
any set of rules.
Stop
They
this.
don't know anything. So how
I
did
just, like, what's wrong? So go back where she's speaking. Oh,
I
you
think.
can't listen. Why do you put your speakers on? I
Yeah.
mean,
I'll just put my headphones on so that it doesn't echo back. Okay. Let's do this now.
is about does only Muslims get to go to paradise because it's people that are found in the Amazons that have never had like any set
okay.
of rules. They don't know
Oh,
anything. So
okay. Go
how
back. I mean, like, go back where she's on. Just bring it back a little where she's speaking, where you can see her speaking, not there, where
Okay.
she's in the picture. Keep
Okay.
going forward, where
This
she's in the picture.
right here.
Okay, yeah. So why is this dark? Can you tell me?
They didn't put the light on the audience.
Oh, okay. Right. I was like, why can't we see them? Yeah.
rules. They
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I would suggest that they're blacking them out because they're women.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I just wanted to know why can't we see who's asking the question? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because anyway. Keep going forward. Now. You don't have to go back. Where are you going back?
Okay.
Go where he's now
There's only
answering. No, like where he's answering now.
Okay.
get treated, and yeah, that's it.
I missed that. I didn't really.
I think what she's saying is you've answered that question. Is it only Muslim? But if a non-Muslim doesn't know about Islam, or they don't get sufficient information about it.
On the Day of Judgment, there will be some people who will come to Allah and they will have an excuse. They will have a genuine excuse.
Really?
Some of them will say, I was too young. Others will say, I was too
like the
old.
guy
When
was
the message
killed by the
came to me,
angel, yeah.
I was old, I was senile, I couldn't understand. Others will complain of insanity. Someone will complain that I lived in a time when there were no messengers. I lived in a time when there were no messengers. Or I lived between the messengers. So there is this time, there have been these times in history when the truth is very confused.
Really?
Okay, when the message of the Prophet has become distorted and God has not sent yet
mean
a
like
new
when you are
message.
uttering out of your mouth, I
So
see.
all of these people have something similar in the sense that in one way or another the message did not reach them. Now Allah says in the Quran that we do not punish people until we first send to them a messenger, a warner. This is from God's mercy. Even though in reality God created all of us with the natural inclination to know Him, to worship Him, and to believe that He is the Lord, the provider. This is our nature.
Really?
This is why when the human beings, they're in trouble,
Really?
you know, they're in an aeroplane and the aeroplane
Okay,
starts,
stop it
you know,
there.
crashing towards the ground
Stop
or
it
in
there.
the sea.
Yeah. Okay. If we're naturally inclined to do that, then why the hell is all of mankind rejecting God, including this moron? Because what he's uttering is a lie. Yeah. We have intrinsically in us the knowledge that there's a God. We don't have the inclination to believe that. If we had that, we'd all be believing, obviously. Yeah. We need to overcome the nonsense to believe the God exists. Yeah. And this moron, I mean, the garbage he's uttering is phenomenal. That, you know, he's been throughout history knowing that there was a time when there was no prophets and messengers, obviously, right? He's been through all of mankind's history and he knows that there were times, because now there are no messengers. So obviously there was times before there are no messengers, and of course there's a messenger right in front of you on the earth today. You just don't know he exists. Then he says those will have an excuse.
Hmm.
How will they have an excuse if they didn't get the message? The only excuse they'll have is that they didn't get the message. They won't have an excuse for not believing God exists.
Mm.
Yeah. And when, of course, the whole idea that these um, scam pushing so-called Muslims, when they push the idea that without the knowledge of Muhammad you cannot be a Muslim. I mean, this is the most fundamental thing in the world today.
Mm.
Correct me if I've said a lie today.
You're absolutely right.
So, if you don't believe Muhammad or know Muhammad, you cannot be a Muslim, right?
Mm.
So, I guess all the people before Muhammad were all non-Muslims, yeah, including those who followed Jesus and those who followed Moses and those who followed Abraham and the rest and Noah. Yeah, they were not Muslims, right? Because only those who follow Muhammad, they are Muslims. Correct? This is the ideology, correct? That's why this poor person, poor girl, you know, with a tent on her head for no reason, yeah, that's what they're hiding. They're hiding the faces of the women, I believe. I don't know, maybe it's light, but look, there's light on top of them. You're showing this.
Mm.
There's light, yeah. Maybe it's not that great for the camera. I mean, I won't put it past them. But I would suggest they're hiding it because they're women. Yeah, you can't show. I mean, even the Israelis, you know, they can't show women in their newspapers and stuff. At the
Mm.
time when they supposedly killed uh, Osama bin Laden, Hillary Clinton was in the room when all of them were going over that whatever operation they they did in Pakistan,
Hmm.
and Hillary Clinton was there. But when you look at the picture in the Gazette or the newspaper in Israel, she was removed. So this ideology comes from the Jews, and they've adopted it themselves. Yeah, that the women cannot be seen. Women have cannot be seen. Yeah, and this is all nonsense. Yeah, that you cannot see the face of a woman that is not haram to you. You can only see faces of the women that are haram to you. Haram, and in their word, haram or mehram, they call it. Yeah, haram is the one you cannot marry. So you got to marry blindly. Okay, if it turns out to be a turd, too bad for you. I mean, if the person turns out to be a turd and you don't kind of are not attracted to that person, that's your problem, man. I chose you the best that I could, yeah, because that was going to benefit me the most from the dowry I was going to get from the woman, yeah. But you have to deal with this turd for the rest of your life. I got my 2 cents worth, my $3 million, but you will now have to deal with this turd for the. Oh, you don't like her? Well, when you divorce, the throne of God shakes every time. This is also one of those Sunnah hadiths that they say. Yeah, when
Wow.
every time a divorce occurs, I'm not kidding. I've heard this from actual people who have knowledge of hadith, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but I would believe it that these guys invent nonsense to the highest level possible. That whenever a divorce occurs, the throne of God shakes. So then they make you fear not to divorce. Yeah, that's
Live
how
in misery.
live in misery, but don't divorce. Don't divorce. This divorce is like, no, 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 you don't divorce because it's the worst thing, for God. So I'm sure God's throne is in shaking all the time. Or is it only for the Muslims today? Only when the Muslims divorce, or is it anyone else that divorces? I don't know. If it's all mankind, then there's no stopping the shaking of the throne of God. It's shaking incessantly from time immemorial, ever since marriage was invented. Yeah, and marriage was invented after Moses came, right? Before that, there was really no law. So you could marry anyone you wanted, fundamentally, as far as I understand. I mean, if there was a law before that, I'm unaware of that. I only know the law of Moses, and I don't believe there was a law before the law that came to Moses. And that's the same law that we follow today, without a doubt. I mean, that is the law, and that everything that's in the Quran written that you can and cannot do was the same law. That was also, what do you mean then? Who are the keepers of the book? They say the people of the book, Ahl al Kitab, yeah.
Hmm.
It's the keepers of the book, yeah. The idiots who hold the Quran are no less or no more keepers of the book than the Jews and the Christians who hold the Torah and the Injil. They're also books of God. So is the Quran. So you are, if you say even people for the sake of argument, let's say Ahl means people, which it doesn't. Ahl means keepers. Yeah. So if you are the same, you are that people, then it applies to you exactly. So from these people, the women that are allowed are the chaste women to you. Yeah. The chaste from the keepers of the book. So it's all any from for us. This is to the believers. Yeah. To those who believe. So we can marry any of the women from any of the keepers of the book, which is the Torah, the Injil, and the Quran, who are chaste. And the thing about that is that, so basically, if they're mushrik, if they're partnering with God, and they're saying Jesus son of God, so you can still marry them. No, idiot, they got to be Muslims. They have to be Muslims. We are forbidden from marrying partnering women or men. The women are forbidden to marry partnering men, and the men are forbidden to marry the partnering women. Yeah, it's written in the book. So, which keepers of the book can you marry the women? The one that are Muslims, you fools. The Muslim is a non-starter in the Quran. Those who believe are the starters in the Quran. The Muslim is a non-starter in the Quran. The Muslim is just an ignition to start. The starter, the actual ignition, is those who believe. And I'll tell you the words for those who don't understand, and they don't understand, and nobody's going to listen anyways. Muslim is the one who submits. And then the guy who is those who believe is Allavina Amanu. They are those who believe. and then they become al mu'minun. Once you become a mu'min, yeah, then you're good. Yeah, to try becoming that. I've seen many trying and most failing. You're looking at one believer. I'm far higher than a believer. I was talking to someone the other day, yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was yesterday. Some idiot from Pakistan. And I told him there's no Muslim in the covenant. There's the messenger covenants with what's sent down to him from his Lord, and the mu'minun, the believers, not the Muslims. So then he asked me, this guy's a so-called quote unquote hafiz, yeah, the one who's memorized the Quran, so he now can teach the Quran, yeah. Because you've memorized the Quran, you can now teach the Quran. I was like, okay, so tell me about the Quran. So after like 2 minutes, I said, you don't know anything about the Quran. So when I showed him this, I said, what's the difference between a Muslim and a Mu'min? I said the Muslim is nothing in front of a Mu'min who is nothing in front of the messenger. Yeah. The believer is a far greater thing than a Muslim, and a messenger is a far greater thing than a mu'min, a believer. Then they will say, well, God is al mu'min as well. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the idiots from mankind and demon kind. Those believers up there, you can't get to them, the angels, the spirit, and then the God who is the believer, al mu'min. Yeah, so all these people are full of nonsense. They utter garbage, they spew nonsense, and they have no understanding. So a Muslim, and then I showed him what a Muslim is in chapter 2, where God commands Abraham, Aslim. And Abraham says, Aslam tu li Rabbil Alameen. I submit to Lord of the Knowing. Then he goes, but there's no Allah written here. Who do you think is the Lord, you fool? So they will argue about everything, and then he brings out the kalimas from outside the Quran and says, this shahada, the two shahada, yeah, and the first kalima, tell me the first kalima. I said, there's no first kalima. I told him the kalima I know is la ilaha illallah, no God except the God. There's nothing after that. No, no, you have to say Muhammad. I said, well, that's not written in the Quran. Yeah, but both those things are written. I said, then I can make anything up. If both those things are written and I have to say them together as a faith, as my statement, which is not written in the Quran, then I can make any word out of the Quran. Literally, I can make myself God if I want, which is what they're making, which is allowed to be done by God for those who step against him and his messengers. They start to believe they're gods themselves, and they're unaware of this. Yeah, they're unaware that they think they're gods themselves. I've met many people, many people, who are saying things which obviously makes them higher than God, yet they don't realize that they're actually being higher than God. Yeah, and they will not be bound by the Quran like that moron on Friday, this Asim Hakim character. He's saying that the Quran is not as important to the Sunnah as the Sunnah is important to the Quran. Does he not see the absolute abject, uh, radical nonsense that he's uttering against God, making the Quran less than the Sunnah, thus making God less than their Muhammad, who doesn't exist? The Muhammad they have created does not exist. Just like the Jesus the Christians have created does not exist. Just like what they've done with the Torah is not what the Torah said. They don't make Moses like what they make Jesus and Muhammad. Have you noticed that? Mm-hmm. The Jews will not make Moses like what the Christians and the so-called Muslims make Muhammad. Yeah, they make Muhammad and Jesus like more than, obviously, Jesus is God himself for them. Yeah, Son of God or God, that's what they call him. And Muhammad is secondary God. I actually, for most of them, it's primary, because they only follow what they've made Muhammad utter from his mouth that he did not utter. Everything he uttered or said from his mouth, or the sayings that were attributed to him by God, are all in the Quran. And everything derived from them directly with clear corroboration in the Quran is what you can say. You can't add a kalima 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have 6 kalimas. Yeah, the only place I've seen these 6 kalimas are in Pakistan and the subcontinent. I have never heard of these outside there. Yeah, have you?
No.
I haven't. Maybe the Saudis have them as well, but I have not seen any other so-called Muslims who are not Muslims utter this outside of Pakistan. It's only a Pakistani factor here. Yeah.
Yeah.
that they create these six kalamas, and when you read them, and you like, they have this imane mufassil and imane mujammil. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard about this. Yeah,
No.
mufassil mean explained, mujammil mean put together. I think that's what I believe. So they have a faith explained and a faith put together. Morons, it's all written in the Quran. You don't have to put anything together outside the Quran. Everything is clearly described in the Quran, and what you need to believe to be one thing or the other. Like I've said many times, or sometimes, a few times before, that if you want to be a really good Satan, you must know the Quran as well. It will make you the best Satan you can possibly be, because it says exactly what the Satan is going to say and do. So you better learn that instead of making it up yourself. You might not get to be the best Satan you could be. Don't you want to be the best Satan you could be? Well, then read the Quran and learn. You don't need the satanic Bible from the church of what is that church? Satanic church? What do you call it? Church of Satan, yeah?
Yeah. Church of
Yeah.
Satan.
You don't need that. You need the Quran to become the best Satan. I mean, if you want to be a Satan, there is no better place to learn to be a Satan except the Quran. Guaranteed. You cannot make it up. If you don't know all the ins and outs of Satan, although, having said that, those guys are doing a great job, because intrinsically we're all satanic. Yeah. We're not intrinsically inclined to believe God. We're intrinsically inclined to reject God here, all of us. Yeah, most of us, not all of us. Let me walk that back. Yeah, most of us are, and then when we see any excuse to do that, we jump at it. We're like all over it, right? Yeah, like bees on honey. We're all over that like bees on honey. And then we attribute like every messenger that comes, his word is the word of God. He only says the word of God. He says nothing else. And he can make no mistakes. They're errorless. They're pure and innocent and never commit crimes. Okay, I would like to inform you, morons, that if you read the book, the messengers commit egregious crimes at times. Yeah, egregious. Yeah, before they become messengers or even after they become messengers. So all this nonsense has to stop, and they have to understand that your deeds are not going to save you if your faith is wrong. And if your faith is right, your deeds might take you to hell still. So, all this nonsense about the deeds is the only thing you need. No, unless you have the right faith, your deed is not going to help you. Your deeds are not going to help you. You're not going to get away from hell if your faith is wrong. Yeah. And the fundamental faith is there is only one creator, and you must accept he has absolute authority over you, and you must submit to that. If you're in the Amazon and you look around, I mean, those probably guys are the best Muslims, if you ask me. Yeah? They don't know anything about this screwed up, nonsensical, satanic world we live in. Yeah, I'm sure they all believe there's a creator up there. Yeah, I mean, not all, but like I'm pretty sure more percentage believe there's a creator and submit to that creator there than in the developed, civilized world. Yeah, civilized world we have. Yeah, we don't need to live in a civilized world. We need to be civil. We don't need to be civilized human beings. Yeah, we need to be civil or just. The right word is be just. There's no civility. You think there's any civility in this world? I mean, where is the civility in this world? The only thing they want you to be civil to is a dog, right?
Mhm.
That's what you got to be civil to. If you're bad to a dog, we're gonna haul you into prison. You killed someone, that's okay. You can pass over that. Yeah. Oh, it was a righteous kill. If you hurt an animal, oh, you you just committed the most heinous crime ever invented. You killed an animal. It's got to stop. This has got to stop. We got to put you in the prison. You got to repent for your crimes. You killed an animal. You were bad to the animal. This is the worst ever created organization. I'm just joking. Probably there are more than that. Yeah, RSPCA. Yeah, in the Royal Society for the Protection of
Hmm.
cruelty to animals, some nonsense like that. Yeah, in Britain, and it's come across to the shores of the Atlantic on this side. Yeah, from that side. Yeah, it's nonsense. These people don't understand a thing. So whatever they utter, it's prefaced on a understood truth which doesn't exist. What we're talking about the video, yeah, which went all this direction off here, which explained so many things about the nonsense he's uttering. That what if Muslims, idiots, you don't understand what a Muslim is? So what kind of a question is that? When you've destroyed the meaning of Muslim, then you've destroyed the whole context of what is, and only a Muslim will go to the garden, that's for sure. Not the Muslims that are on the earth today that call themselves Muslims and are not. Yeah, they are not Muslims. Who says they're Muslims?
They
They.
themselves, yeah.
Exactly. They themselves say they're Muslims, and they themselves, when you ask them what is a Muslim, how many answers do you get?
Zero.
No, infinite. Nobody can explain what
Hmm.
a Muslim is. Okay,
Hmm.
when you ask a moron who calls himself himself a Muslim, you don't get an answer straight from him. Haven't you tried it?
Yeah.
And it's not zero. The answer
Yeah.
is garbled gibberish,
Yeah.
gobbledygook, nonsense,
Ne-
BS.
Never what you explained from the book. Never that answer.
I mean, never what the book explains, and what I explain obviously is in the book. Yeah,
Yeah.
so never that. So here's this last video that I had with my wife. She wanted to cry over that, yeah? And then I sent her all the videos about don't grieve over these morons. They're not worth it. Yeah. So this is what is told to the messenger, me today, and every messenger before me, after the Jews, after the Torah, and after Jesus, and to Jesus, obviously, the same thing was said to Jesus as well, and every messenger after that, and Muhammad and everyone else. So this is what is said to the messenger: "O you, the messenger, not they grieve you, those they striving in the rejection from those they say we believe with their mouths and not believe their hearts, and from those who Jews they listening to the falsehood, they listening to people other, not it comes to you." This is to the messenger. Huh? They change the word from after its placing. They say, if you brought this, but take it. And if not, you brought it, but be warned. So they use this fear that what we're bringing you is the truth. And take it. And if anything else is brought, if we don't bring it, don't be warned. Yeah. I should be saying that to you.
Hmm.
And I bring you the Quran. Okay. I don't bring you nonsense they invent outside the Quran. And one he wants, the God, him tried, but not you control to him from the God of things. So nobody can stop the trial of God on you, no matter what I want or any other person wants. So this intercession nonsense that we can somehow stop the trials of God or we can get you punishment. If God wants to try you or punish you, no one can stop him. No, Abraham couldn't stop the punishment coming to the people of Lot. It's explained clearly. Yeah, I'm sure in the Torah it's written as well in the Injil. They, those, not he wants, the God, that he purify their hearts. Hearts, okay? It's your hearts that need to be cleansed in your chests, yeah? Before your soul can really be cleansed. Your heart's desires are your downfall. To them in the world, humiliation, and to them in the hereafter, punishment great. So you people say to the messenger, we believe. Yeah. And the messenger don't worry about what they say. Yeah. When they're lying and their hearts don't believe. See, not believe their hearts. Their hearts. Their hearts. He will not purify their hearts. Do you understand this?
Hmm.
It is unequivocally written in the Quran, all these things, and they think it's a joke that this, we're talking about the heart. What are you talking about, man? This is nonsense. This is nonsense. Yeah, it'll so surely be nonsense. We've got a Puria 10. Salam to you as well. She's listening. Or he's listening. I don't know. You have any
Salam.
questions? Please tell us questions that you have, and I will answer them for you. If wishes the Lord God, who has brought me the knowledge of the book and the wisdom and the law. Anyway, so if you have any questions, you can ask. So continue. Let's go on with this guy you were showing. Yeah, what he's saying.
and the waves start coming over and they think they're going to sink, then what do people do? They say, "Oh God, help me." They call upon that one they know in their heart has the ability to rescue them. That's the nature. God created us with that nature. But even then, even though...
Whoa, that got stuck. That got stuck. I think
the messenger will explain that he is a messenger from God and that he has commanded them to go into the hellfire and God will make the hellfire cool for them.
What? Stop it right
So
there.
those people...
Stop it. Why would hellfire be cool for people God puts in the hellfire? I mean, yes, this is it. This is enough for this guy. Yeah, take this out. We are from God. Where are you from? Whoever this Puria -10 is.
Yeah.
I am from your Lord the God. I am his messenger on the earth today. Where are you from? I'm asking a question to this person. Yeah.
I just wanted to show
Yeah. Okay.
so that
That's
people
what they're
know.
saying. Salam. Yeah. Where are you from? Anyway, so let's go to the next next. Oh,
Yeah,
this guy is from Iran. All right. Do you want to join us in this and ask your questions if you have any questions? Puria _10. We can put you into this so you can ask your questions if you have any on the screen if you're willing to come on the screen. You can send him the link, Imran,
sure. Yeah.
or her. I don't know who it is. Anyway, so let's continue with the next video.
All right. So this one was gone. The next one is from somebody. They say that let the Quran speak, and they're asking the same question: who's going to go to? They
Okay.
say paradise, but actually it's
Whatever.
going
Let's go. Let's see what it says.
to. But the weird part was that they didn't talk about the Quran.
All right. Let's listen
Yeah.
and then we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Sorry about that. This was the wrong video.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Let the Quran Speak. My name is Sophia, I'm your host. The aim of Let the Quran Speak is to help you gain deeper insights into Muslims and Islam, as it is practiced here and in other parts of the world. In this episode, the transformative power of the Quran. How can we use the Quran to change ourselves and our communities for the better? We answer that question soon, but first, who goes to paradise? Can only Muslims be saved? Is someone like Mother Teresa condemned to hell, or does she too have a chance to enter paradise? With me to discuss what Islam says about the fate of non-Muslims, Dr. Shabir Ali, President of the Islamic Information Center. Dr. Shabir Ali, welcome to Let the Quran Speak.
Pleasure to be on.
So who goes to heaven and who goes to hell? How do we know?
A recent book about this is entitled Islam and the Fate of Others by Muhammad Khalil. It's a very important work, and in fact it summarizes some of the thoughts which I have been working on myself and which I've expressed here on this show and elsewhere. The classical understanding generally has been among Muslims that only Muslims go to paradise, even after it is some time. Sinful Muslims may suffer in hell for a while, and then through this suffering be purified enough to enter paradise. Eventually they'll be taken out and placed into paradise. And then the view commonly held is that the rest of the people, non-Muslims, would remain in hell, and that this punishment in hell would remain forever. So this entails two problems.
I think
Yeah.
Boris has joined us.
Okay. Let's bring him on.
Let's bring him on. All right.
Yeah. So let me just first talk about this guy. Let's wait. This guy is just uttering nonsense about a book written about who is going to join people in paradise or not being a Muslim. And normally it's a Muslim, but now I've got thoughts other than that, apparently, which he's going to explain, obviously.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this guy is a complete nonsense mongerer. The Quran has no knowledge anywhere telling when people are going to come out of hell after going there. There isn't any. Is there?
Can you repeat that question again?
Is there any evidence in the Quran that people are going to be taken out of the hellfire after putting them in the hellfire in the
They
Quran?
will. The Quran is clear. They will be there perpetually.
Yeah, but except if God wishes, but there's
Except,
no place it's said that he's going to wish it. Anyway, let's bring this guy on. This will be interesting. Yeah?
yeah.
Bring him on. Hi, Puris. Can you hear us? You're on. Can you hear us? You are on air. We can't hear you. Turn your mic on. He's gone.
Oh, he's gone. So if you're listening, man, we couldn't hear you, or lady. We
Yeah.
tried to add you.
He was on for a while, but the sound did not connect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this guy, he's
Hmm.
talking about books written telling what's going to happen. I just explained about Muslim and what it is. Nobody who's not a Muslim is going to enter the garden. They're going to enter the fire. If you're a non-Muslim or a rejecter, kafir, or a mushrik, yeah, or you do deeds, even if you're a Muslim and you do certain deeds, or a believer or a messenger. I mean, I can go to hell as a messenger of God if I do certain deeds. So I will obviously burn there then. Yeah, obviously. So that's the fear. You don't do those deeds after you become a Muslim or a believer or a messenger. And the example of Jonah is clear. In this earth, he was punished by God
Hmm.
when he reneged over the command of God and ran away from his responsibility. The story of him being in the fish is pretty clear. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's pretty clear. So it's disgusting when people like this so smug in their own achievement, but don't think they have achievement from the fire. That's been told to us. The wrongdoers are in the eyes of God and his angels, and they're going to burn in hell. There's no two things about it. This guy is a satanic scum. I mean, look at his face. You can see in his face evil if you actually pay attention.
Hmm.
You can see the guy's evil. Look at that evil satanic look. Yeah.
He also smirked. Remember when he said,
Yeah.
when
They
somebody,
love smirking, obviously.
the starting answer was like, who's gonna go to
Ex-
the so
Exactly. So, anyway, this is the same nonsense. So, I've already said clearly that only a Muslim will enter the paradise. But these people are not Muslims on the earth, and nobody knows what a Muslim is except me and a few others. You don't need to know Muhammad to be a Muslim. You don't need to know the Quran to be a Muslim. You don't need to know Jesus or the Bible or the Torah or Moses or Abraham or anything. You don't need to know any of that. You just need to know in your heart and accept in your heart, your soul, and your heart that there is a creator who sent you here and he has absolute power and authority over everything. And you submit to him in your heart. You have to do nothing. I mean, to be a Muslim, you have to do nothing. Yeah.
and how can they enter the garden?
Who?
When they become a Muslim, they stay a Muslim and
Yeah.
make sure don't
Don't make
reject.
equals with God. Don't make other gods. Don't make yourself God. Don't pretend that you know things that you don't. Don't say over God what you don't know after you become a Muslim until you learn the books of God, starting with the Quran and then the Torah, and then look at the Bible as well, that has been emaciated, has been mutilated, twisted beyond its original purpose that it was sent to us. You must read them as well. But first, understand the Quran and what is a Muslim and what is a believer and who are the messengers and what do the messengers actually do and what are you supposed to do with the messengers, how you're supposed to treat them. I am a messenger. You screw with me, you're going to get screwed. Just because it doesn't happen till you die doesn't mean you're not going to be screwed. Just because you can overcome me and somehow kill me does not make you victorious over me. This is the nonsense these people follow. They, we've killed the guy. We are now victorious. What is this victory? That you are now alive on this earth and that guy is dead? That is your victory. You're sadly mistaken. The longer you live on this earth, the more chance you have of screwing up. Guaranteed. And that's the reason why God delays to those who are rejectors. He delays them in the earth. Don't think it's good for them that God delays to these rejectors. All these people that you put on the videos, this satanic monster and the other ones. Yeah. Don't think that it is good to them. It's better to them that we delay to them. It is worse to them because we want them to add evil and they die as kafirs or rejectors. And then they will be destroyed their souls here and they are rejectors. And God does not want to make any portion for them in the hereafter. That's why they live long lives. And they think living a long life is some blessing of God here. Yeah. I mean, the life in this world, if you look at your life objectively, is a struggle. Tell me otherwise. Whose life is not a struggle? The richest and the poorest. Everybody's struggling against something or the other, some desire or the other, some evil or the other. There's few of us who aren't. I mean, I'm struggling as well against all of mankind with whatever I have, and I will deliver that till I die or they snuff me out. When you used to say, oh, when I used to call you back, when I used to, oh, I was just thinking about you, you have a long life. This is a nonsensical, wise ass bullshit that has been invented, especially in Pakistan. Yeah. If you're thinking of someone and they call you, means they're going to live a long life. Are you cursing them? Are you? I mean, are you cursing people who live long lives here?
Mm.
The longer you live here, the shittier it gets. Objectively, I mean, if you look objectively, who keeps getting better as they live longer, past 40? Up until 40, you can say, yeah, you get better to an extent. After 40, who lives on this earth and gets a better life as they go? Just because you get richer? Just because you have more toys? Just because you have more planes? Or more trains? Or more land? Or more guns? I mean, what? More children or does that make your life better? None of it makes it better. You're struggling to get out of bed in the morning, like, oh, I'm back here. It takes like half an hour to roll out of bed when in your 40s, late 40s, 50s, and it gets worse and worse as you get older and older. The older you get, the more you're in bed. Yeah. How good a life is that? Because you have money in the bank and your pension's coming in. Yeah. And you got food on the table. Yeah. This is the nonsense these people live in their lives. The absolute nonsense. I mean, the whole life is a sustenance of deception. It's bullshit and play. Yeah. Laibun wa lahu. Yeah. That's what the life is. Play and lightness, play and bullshit. This life is bullshit. Yeah. Understand who sent you here and why. I mean, these morons that say we chose to come here, right? We chose to come here, right? It wasn't God that sent us here. When Adam and his spouse in the garden, when they took the tasted of the fruit tree, when they stood there and said, God, forgive us, yeah, we have wronged our souls, and if not you mercy us and not you forgive us, to our surely being from the losers, yeah.
Loses.
And God immediately says, get down from here. It was their choice to come down here, yeah. I can tell you one thing for sure. If God had not sent us down here, we would be all in hell already. Okay? He accepted that pleading from Adam for accepting his wrong, that he has now given us the second chance here to right ourselves. And he's told us most of you will still go to hell. He's already said that. Oh, is that preordained? So why should we try not going to hell? Well, you don't have to be in the most of them. That's why. But no, they will not listen. They will go after their desires and the lust and the lusting of things and gold and silver and treasure. And when they get it, and the other guy doesn't have it. Oh, God has blessed me. I am blessed. I am light itself because I am rich. I'm rich. And then the famous one, they're even worse, yeah? The famous people are even worse than the rich people. Have you realized?
Hmm.
This desire for fame, I believe, is worse than wealth itself. If you look at social media and how it plays mankind, it's obvious that it is an absolute desire to be liked, and hate to be disliked, So Google went to the extent of blotting out the dislikes. You can only like a video, you can dislike it, but it won't be presented. It would only show to the person who is in charge of the channel,
Account.
will only see the dislikes, but the rest of the world won't see it, so he'll feel much better about it. I mean, the nonsense that we people are is beyond belief. Is totally beyond belief. You can't make this stuff up. Mankind is wretched to the core, wicked and wretched to the core, and they don't want to accept it. They want to show their beauty and wealth and power and their fame. Politicians. Politicians are the worst lovers of fame, yeah, on the earth today. And the second right after that are all the clergy, your imams, your scholars, your rabbis, your priests, your pope. They are the second line after that. Then it's all the people who are on social media, basically all of mankind. They say, oh look, I've got 5,000 followers. Hey, I got 50,000. You're
Hmm.
chump change compared to me. What, he's got 50 million? Damn. I need to get to 50 million. Yeah. How do I get to 50 million? Then
Yeah.
Satan comes in. Just sign this contract right here, right here, right down here. You don't have to read it. You sign down here and you'll be famous, more famous than the 50 million. You'll be 500 million. And the guy
Hmm.
signs it away.
Yeah.
And he has 500 million followers. And he says, wow. But then he feels like something's missing. Something's missing.
Satan tricked him.
I don't feel good anymore. I have 500 million followers. I don't feel good anymore. Then he goes to the guy who made him sign. You signed away your soul here. Did you not see up here? You did not read the fine print that you're signing your soul over to me. I had a soul. I had a soul. So how do I get it back?
Shit.
Now you will be with me in the hellfire. You enjoy your 500 million. I told you you're gonna have 500 million. You'll have those 500 million followers till you die. Yeah. And who let him do that? God, obviously. God is the one who let Satan do that because you morons want your fame, wealth, and fortune on the earth. Yeah. You want that. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. But you really have to want it. I mean, it's like I've been saying this as well, that it's not easy to become a Satan just as much as it's not easy to become a believer. You gotta strive. I mean, and when the man strives, the man gets what he strives. God just needs to make sure you are really striving for it, yeah? And if you are, then you will be bestowed by that, by God, yeah? And thus, and it's much easier, I would say, to become a Satan than to become a believer. Although it's hard, but I think it's harder to become a believer than a Satan. Why would I say that, do you think?
I don't know.
Because the Satan shows you this world. I can't show you the hereafter. Very simple. Very, very simple. So very simple. It's child's play. I mean, the plan of Satan is weak. Is it not? God has told you the plan of Satan is weak, but you are weaker than his plan. So you don't understand the weakness of his plan. While people like me look down and say, what the hell is he trying to fool me with? Does he think he's fooled me? I've been saying this all my life, yeah, with people like you and others, yeah. Does he think he's put one over on me? Does he actually think I believe what he's saying? Oh, he does. Let me play along. Let me play along for a while. Huh? Let's see how far this goes. And then a point comes where there's a big crackling sound. Huh? You know that crackling sound when wood breaks at the tensile strength?
A
That's what
thunder
happened.
strikes.
And I'm looking down and I'm like, yeah, that was the end of that guy gonna be. And that's what happens to everyone. You got to be understanding of what's going on. You got to understand and decipher it's a joke. I mean, all my life I've known this life is a joke. I treat it as a joke, and people used to put me down, like saying, "Why do you make jokes of everything? Get serious." Yeah. And I was like, how can I be serious with this nonsense going on? Yeah. And I wasn't even guided then, by the way. This is before God actually guided me. Yeah? Although I know I was guided then as well, because only God could have made me like that. If I was left to my own desires, I would be like you people. Yeah. I'd be doing that stuff. And to an extent, I did while growing up. But always there was this intrinsic thing in my heart that there was something I had to do, which is going to be great. Then I don't know what that was. Yeah. Yeah. Until 2008, when I started the work of my Lord, which is now being culminated in this year, which they call 2022. It's coming to an end now, and I'm happy. I have nothing, and I'm happy. Yeah. So the WEF has succeeded with me. I have nothing, and I don't have nothing. I'm joking. But compared to them, I have nothing, and I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Yeah. So that's the way you're supposed to be. Just accept what's on the earth that you have in your power. You have food and water, be happy. You have clothes, be happier. You have a place to be living comfortably in, be the happiest. You don't have to look at the guy who has 10 mansions. Yeah? If you have a flat to live in, or apartment to live in, or a small house to live in, or a bungalow, or a tent even, if you have it and you live comfortably in it, thank God, move along. Nobody's taking their belongings with them. Yeah. And this was this video that said you're that on Friday, yeah, that you when you go to the grave, your family, your wealth, and your deeds go with you. Yeah. And then only the deeds stay behind, and your faith was never there, so it never arrived. I mean, this guy was such a moron. It was unbelievable. I mean, satanic to the hilt. These people speak as if they have knowledge. They pretend to have knowledge. And that's the worst thing you can be. To pretend to be something. And you know it. The thing is, we know it in our hearts that we don't know something, but we are forced to pretend to know it. And if we say we don't know it, then we are shamed on the earth. Yeah. When you ask me something that I have a doubt about, I'll say, I don't know. I don't know. And then I know some of it, so I'll explain this is what I think. But I'm not going to say I know something that I don't know. Yeah. I make a mistake of knowing something because sincerely I believe I know it and I'm wrong. But I'm not going to spew garbage saying I know this when I know in my heart and my soul that I actually don't know and I'm not clear about. I will not do that. I will not do that. It's nonsense. Why would you do that? To look smart, I see. Yeah. That's going to make you look the dumbest soon when you do that. Yeah. The smartest guy is who says, I don't know, and then tells you everything. That's the smartest guy. The smartest guy is, I don't know, and he knows. The stupidest moron are these politicians that they say they know, and they abjectly, obviously, unequivocally prove soon after that they don't know anything of what they're saying. I mean, just look at what happened during the pandemic, and everybody's saying what they knew about it and what was true and what was not. And everything they told you and warned you about from the beginning of what was going to happen, if this and this, and none of it came out to be true. All the projections were wrong. Everything they said about the vaccine turned out to be a lie. Objectively proven now. It's not a secret anymore. It's open. They're admitting to it and themselves. Yeah. So what? Are we going to trust them again? You betcha. You betcha. The next time some nonsense happens, they'll be at their feet again, licking their toes, just like dogs lick the master's toes. Yeah. This is what mankind is. They look and they defer to wealth and apparent power on the earth. Apparent control, because there's really no control. Yeah. And there's really no wealth. I mean, what? The richest man on the earth has got what today? Diddly squat. I mean, We control the earth. Really, you control the earth. Yeah, that's why it's destroying you left, right, and center today, right? You control the earth. That's why the earth is destroying you left, right, and center, and you can do nothing about it. I mean, the littlest hurricane they can't have anything against. Yeah, they just cower in their sheds and their basements until it passes. They can't do anything. Just a hurricane, man, and then a tornado. Yeah, or an earthquake, or a volcano, or a tsunami, or a tidal wave, or whatever. They have nothing. They've got nothing on any of these things. Yeah, nothing can protect them from it.
Nothing.
So, and they stride up across the earth as if they have some power. Yeah, because they have some big machines they made. Yeah, these big machines, they strut out and parade in front of you looking like dicks, big dicks. Yeah, the missiles. Yeah, literally, it's a big dick competition. Who's got the biggest dick to throw at the other guy? That's what's happening. Yeah?
It's even pointed up.
Exactly. And the rockets, the freaking rockets are phallic symbols, all of them. The Washington Monument, what is that? A phallic symbol. Eiffel Tower, phallic symbol. Empire State, phallic symbol. Burj Khalifa,
Damn.
phallic symbol. It's a big dick competition, yeah? I mean, like, what the hell is going on the earth? Unbelievable. These people are just lost. They have no sense of common sense or wisdom at all. And they push that nonsense on you to make you like them. And then everybody follows them like nonsensical beasts. Animals, man. Animals are what they are. No more. No more than animals.
One last.
Okay. Let's do one last and then we're out.
Yeah. So this guy, Dawa Now, Abdul Rahim McCarthy.
McCarthy, man. We want the McCarthy character now. Okay. Let's listen to this moron.
Okay.
What has he got to say? Oh,
He said that many people who are born
Shall I play?
okay, go ahead.
Muslims believe that it's enough, the fact that he is Muslim, that one day he will go to Jannah. Even if he's punished a bit, eventually he's going to go there, so it doesn't really matter if he prays and does good things anyways. And this is the aqidah of irja, which is the murjia, who believe, khalas, as long as you believe, you're going to Jannah. And something interesting that he said just like the Christians believe, in their belief. And it's the same exact belief that the Christians have. And if you believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, then do what you want at the end. As long as you believe, you're going to go to Jannah. And the same thing that some of these people believe, some of the Muslims believe, as long as I say the kalima of La ilaha illallah, that one day, eventually, I'm going to Jannah as well. And this is, as some of the scholars, when they were asked, isn't La ilaha illallah the miftah, the key to Jannah? He said yes, but every key has what? It has the ridges on it, or the teeth on it, right? And if you don't have the correct ridges, it's not going to open the door. So, and it's not just that you have to know La ilaha illallah, understand what La ilaha illallah means, know the conditions of La ilaha illallah, and then you have to implement them. And some of the conditions that are for us to benefit from our Islam is the issue of the prayer. The Prophet ﷺ, he made it clear, this is the covenant between us and them, the salat. So whoever leaves it has committed an act of kufr. This is serious. It's the amud, the backbone of the religion. All of this stuff is for us to reflect. So it's not just enough. And from our iman, the true belief in iman as Muslims is that iman is made up of three components.
Oh, okay.
It's made up of three components.
First
of all is the belief in the heart. Okay. And then the testimony on the tongue, and the actions which come in the statements. And then the actions themselves. All of these are from iman. So it's not just enough to believe in your heart. You actually has to come up and show in your actions. And then subhanAllah, when it comes to taking the risk, if I were to say to you now, and la qadr Allah, may Allah forbid, but let's say there was a fire in the back, and the whole backside is on fire. Now we have two options in front of us, or three options. Some of the strong guys like Sheikh Muhammad can try to break the cement and go out from this window here. In the time of fear, you might be able to do that actually. Or we can run through the fire and take our chances. Maybe we'll make it out, maybe we'll get a half burnt, maybe we'll make it out. Or we can just use the back door if there was a back door, and let's say there was. We could go out the back door, or the window and say, let's open the door. There's a fire escape, we'll go out there. So some brothers say, I'm going to take my chances going out through the fire. Who would take their chance and go out in the fire in the back? Let's say that we have a back door here, wide open, no problem, and there's a fire in the back. Who would take the chance and go in the back? So to be manly, huh? We say super da'i now until we have super Muslim now, Why don't you just run through the fire? No, nobody would take the chance. And the fire of the hereafter Is it like the fire of this world? 70% hotter.
Really?
And the punishment in it is more severe.
Okay.
But yet we take the chance. We gamble when it comes to the fire of the hereafter. And subhanAllah, who would want to take the chance of going to the hellfire? This is something, it doesn't make sense in the affairs of this world. So why do we take the chance when it comes to the issue of the hereafter, where it's going to be even more severe? Allah musta'an.
Didn't explain anything what the question was asked about.
What was the question?
Will Muslims enter Jannah?
Well, I guess you didn't do any recce on this one, yeah, as usual. Nonsense. Yeah, I mean, he said some good stuff in there as well. I got to hand
Yeah.
it to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said nonsense. So, I mean, you should read what you're trying to bring here, listen to that before you bring it, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, there's really nothing to say except he's uttered garbage about you only got to believe in your heart. You don't have to say it from your faith. Absolutely. You don't have to say it from your face, from your mouth. You got to believe in your heart, you fool. I just said that sign from chapter 5, sign number 41, where we're told, do not grieve those they say from their mouth, they believe in their hearts don't. How do you decide whose heart is not believing? And then they will tell you, you don't know what's in my heart. Oh, I bloody know. When you do your nonsense and the garbage you utter from your mouth, I know what's in your heart. Nonsense. You don't believe. That's what I tell people. How do you know? Well, we messengers and the prophets with us, and the ones who are prophets and messengers, you can't get bias with your nonsense ever. Understand that. And you keep trying, especially you, Imran. You keep trying to get bias with your nonsense. It never works. Have you seen it ever work so far? 12
Never.
years. 12 years it's been. And how much nonsense have you put my way?
Tons.
Uncountable. Anyone has gone past me yet?
None.
And how many of those have come back to, shall I say, bite you in your ass?
All of them.
Not all of them. Don't bullshit.
Most of them.
Bullshit. Most of them haven't. If most of them would have, you'd be in your grave already. Absolutely, you'd be in your grave already. Yeah. So anyway, this is all nonsense. They utter garbage. You only have to believe in your heart, and your actions prove your faith. Not your damn words. Your actions prove your faith. Your actions will depend on your faith. Don't blame anything except your belief system for your actions. All right? So when these so-called Muslims utter garbage first and do nonsense and ludicrous actions based on absolute lies which have nothing at all to do with the book of God, then you know they don't believe. That's how you know the hearts of people. But to know that, you must know the Quran inside out, and you must adopt it. As you adopt a child, not really, yeah. As you adopt anything you want to hold on with dear life, yeah, you adopt the Quran as your absolute guide. Anything it says is true. Anything it says is wrong is wrong. Anything it says is right. Anything it tells you to believe, you must believe. Anything it tells you to reject, you must reject. Anything it tells you to doubt it. Doubt the hypocrites. Doubt the rejectors. Doubt the Christians and doubt the Jews, and doubt mankind in general. They're going to screw you over. And that's what is told to the messenger. The believers, whoever say they believe, are going to screw you over. The messenger is told that. They're not going to believe you. They're going to say this to you, and they're going to do that. They're going to covenant you, and they're going to turn their backs on you. When the proverbial stuff hits the fan, they will turn and run. They will turn and run. Yeah. So all this nonsense is clearly explained in the Quran. What's going to happen to every generation, not one, every generation, to every people a messenger. When comes to them their messenger, decision between them with the justice, and they, not they wronged. No one's going to be wronged. When your ass is burning in the fire, you're not being wronged. You're being righted. Because that's the righteous response to what you wronged your soul. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. And that's how it always will continue to work. And the so called Muslims on the earth today are the most egregious liars that I've ever seen, because they lie about the absolute clear guide that God has sent to all of mankind, the Quran. And by doing so, they push away the actual people who want to believe. They push them aside. Because when they do what they're doing and saying about the Quran and what it says and what you got to do, nobody's going to believe the Quran. And they have no way to get to the Quran because they stop you. The Satans will stop you at the door of the Quran saying, "You're not even a Muslim." Yeah? You're not even a Muslim. Really? God doesn't say you got to be a Muslim to read the Quran. There's no there's no barrier for anyone to read the Quran and to understand whatever he understands from it. And if it's other than what these people are saying, then he has every right to make jokes out of them. Like I make jokes out of everyone who says they believe this Quran today. Everyone. There's no exception this far today from the time I started speaking about this book in 2007 and went deep into it starting 2008 till today. There is not a soul that I've found who understands this book. Not one soul. Except what I've brought to them of the truth. And then they run around thinking they've done it themselves. Yeah. The messenger of God is sent to teach you the book. If God wanted everyone to learn the book by themselves, he would never send the messenger. He would just send the book. He would not send a messenger. There would be no messenger needed. Why did anyone need anyone after Moses when the Torah came? Why did the prophets come after Moses? To teach the Torah, to judge with the Torah. Why? Because you could do it yourself?
Yeah.
No, because you couldn't do it yourself. Mankind cannot do it, then that's not the way of God. The way of God is he sends one guy or a few people, normally one or two in every generation, and they teach the book to the people in front of them. The same book. The Quran has no other book, wisdom, and law that came in the Torah and the Injil, the Bible. It has the same exact thing, the same faith, the same law, and the same book in there, yeah? The same knowledge. Except there is more information about things that occurred in the past after the Torah and after the Injil, the Bible that came to Jesus. That's the only difference. So you got to abide by that and understand that whatever said about the Quran outside the Quran is all nonsense. Yeah. And you learn from the Quran and then you align it with the Torah, the leader, which is the Torah, and the Injil, which is the follower of the Torah, and the Quran, which is the follower of the Injil. These three books are brothers and sister. Yeah. And I wait for Jesus to come, just like everyone else who thinks Jesus is going to return. Most of them doubt that as well. And the most important messenger or prophet after Muhammad is Jesus, obviously, because he's the one who's going to return. Muhammad ain't coming back till the day of resurrection, as far as I know, the day we stand to God. So believe that and understand that the prophethood of any prophet never ends. The messengership of any messenger never ends. It's not like Jesus is going to come and say, you know, my prophethood ended, and now God has sent me back to do what? I don't know. I don't know, man. God just sent me back. What are you guys doing? Oh, the Mahdi. Yeah, I'm here to search for the Mahdi. Where is the Mahdi? I'm looking for the Mahdi. I don't know where it. Guys, anyone? Can someone help? I'll send you. My Telegram account is Jesus Christ. Can you send me? Can you send me the directions to the Mahdi, please? Yeah, I got Google Maps. I can get there. Yeah, what nonsense? Yeah, these people. You think Jesus is going to come out here and ask you people for anything? He's
No.
going to ask you to obey him just like me.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you to obey him just like I tell you. Fear God and obey me. That's what he's going to come and tell you. I've come to you with wisdom. I'll tell you what he's going to tell you exactly when he comes back. That'll be the
you
last, and then we're
you
out of
you,
here.
you want to listen to this guy who is questioning that
No, I
he
don't want to listen to
okay,
that anymore. Yeah,
okay,
I'm done with that.
okay.
Okay, so let me show you what Jesus is going to come and tell people when he comes. Yeah. So, first of all, this is you can read this. I'm not going to read this. This is where when he's son of Mary struck an example, your people stop from him, stopping telling Muhammad and me. Yeah. Obviously, they stop Jesus and they say, Are our God better or he? Yeah, yeah, keep going. And then the Spirit tells us, if he accept a servant, we favored over him and we made him example to sons of Israel. Not just them, by the way. And if we wished to our making from you angels in the earth, they're following, and surely he to be knowledge to the hour. So this is talking about Jesus. He here is Jesus. So don't you surely doubt with her the hour and follow me. The Spirit is telling you. This a highway constant. And not he surely stop you, the Satan. Surely he to you an enemy clear. Understand the Satan is your enemy. The most grievous enemy is Satan. Take him as that. Just because you can't see him doesn't mean he can't see you. Okay? And when comes Jesus with the clarities, he will say, this is what when Jesus comes, remember, he's going to say this. Yeah? Have I come to you with the wisdom and to my clarifying to you some of what you're differing in it. So fear the God and obey me. Surely the God, he my Lord and your Lord. So serve him. This a highway constant. That's what he's going to say. So accept that and wait for him to come. I mean, obviously, we say the same thing. So don't confuse us with Jesus. It's not like I tell you that fear God and obey me not. I tell you the same thing. Fear God and obey me. Every message is going to say fundamentally the same thing. It's just repeating the fact that he ain't going to come and tell you, oh, I am the Son of God. Oh, I am God himself. No, he's not going to say that to you. If he says that and says he's Jesus, he's a bloody scumbag liar.
Hmm.
An absolute satanic scumbag if he says that. Yeah. Muhammad never said ever that he's the last messenger. Ever. Not a chance. Cannot happen. It's impossible. God didn't die and run away and leave you to your own devices. Muhammad is dead. God is alive. And his messengers are alive all around you as the angels, which you cannot see. And he sends messengers like me in the scene to guide you. That's it. Every generation is the same thing. Ain't nothing special going on with me here. Yeah. You think special stuff is going on? No, no special stuff is going on. The truth is coming again and destroying the lies. And the lies cannot stand up for a second against the truth. That's why they will never come and address the truth, which is me today with the book of God, sent from the Lord God of all creation. We are the truthful, the messengers are the truthful, the angels are the truthful, and the God is the truth, the absolute truth. That's how it works. Anyway, I think we're done, eh? Anything else?
Nope.
All right,
Done.
then. We shut her down.
And okay, so Puri is also gone. No sign. Okay. Until next time. Peace.